Good afternoon. Welcome to episode 3 of the MPFL Outlook. I have to apologize for starting very, very late. But you know the country that we're in, this is Nigeria. So we noticed some network issues at the beginning. So I decided that look, let's take our time and try to nip those network issues in the bud first and foremost before kicking off. So, like I said earlier, this is the MPFL Outlook, and I have to say big thank you to everybody that has joined us from the first episode, all the lovely feedback we get and the comments we get as well during the show that we take. And, the feedback is great, the competition is going on smoothly, and as always, I am not alone. I have the number one pitching commentator in the whole of Africa. None other than Timi Owoye joins us for once again on the MPFL Outlook. Timi, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, Yemi. It's my pleasure to be here once again. The MPFL is getting stronger by the day. I'm glad to be here too.
Yeah, it's getting stronger by the day. I just hope that we can start reaping those benefits little by little. But then, what do I know? As always, the man that made his appearance on the maiden episode is here, and it's none other than the one and only Giant One of the whole of Lagos. Olawale Adigun joins us again on the MPFL Outlook. Wale, welcome to the show.
Yes, great to be here. Fantastic platform. The future of the MPFL is here, is online. You like it or not, it is really online. There's MPFL TV.
Well, Wale says the future is
MPFL.
online.
And let's.
Wale, are you there? This is part of the problem with going online.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, you broke off for a little bit at first, so let's get into it. Let's not waste much time. And I have to say, first and foremost, somebody that I've been extremely critical of in Nigerian football is winning my heart with every passing day, and that's Aisha Falode and the things she's doing with the NWFL. I've been very critical of this woman. And now she's winning my heart. He's taking some very, very, very tough decisions with respect to the NWFL. And I hope and pray someday Shehu Diko will grow some balls and be like Aisha Falode. With the things she's doing, she suspended the league because of the COVID testing issues. A lot of the clubs are not testing. We will also be talking about the testing issues with the MPFL clubs as well. She stopped the league and giving them till 15th January to come up with test results and get to a point that is appreciable with the testing. I think it's a bold move. Note that she threw out some teams who could not meet up with the requirements of the league. They've been thrown out to the lower division. I think it's a huge and bold move that she's doing. So NWFL, take a bow. I don't know if Wale agrees with me on that stance.
Yeah, I perfectly agree with you. They've shown the way. I am not a fan of what the Premier League in England or what La Liga in Spain do. We should copy them. But in this COVID-19 period, in this COVID-19 times, we have to look at them for guidance. Even the Premier League looked like the Bundesliga for guidance when football resumed or returned in March, last year, if you do remember. And I think with COVID-19, we are not learning anything yet. But the NWFL can at least, to a lesser extent, show the MPFL how it is done in terms of willpower, in terms of being strict, and in terms of compliance. Aisha Falode has put the league on hold. You must test your players. If you don't, we're not resuming the league. You must fulfill certain requirements. If you don't, you'll be exempted from the league. And two clubs fell foul and they moved on. With the NPFL on match day 1 or 2, I can't remember. Dakada, okay, I think it was after the Aqua United game. I hope you can hear me, guys.
Yes.
Yes, I can hear you, Ali.
So after the Dakada Aqua United game, Dakada players were saying that the last time we got tested for COVID-19 was like 3 weeks ago or 4 weeks ago. So far, so good. The LMC cannot even provide numbers of those who are testing negative or positive, even on a weekly basis.
Yeah.
This information is very important. It is very important. Are we saying that out of all of the players in the NPFL, everyone is positive, everyone is negative? Oh, that should be good news. But we need some transparency. Yeah. We need some transparency. We need to see those guidelines being adhered to. You go to stadiums and you see, even don't let me talk about fans, because technically fans are not allowed in. I'm sure we'll talk about that. But you could see shows, you see players without face masks. You could see how lax they are. And what Aisha Falode has done is really commendable. I also think that Aisha feels that, see, I am on my own. The NFF doesn't have my time. In as much as I'm an NFF member, I'm on my own these days. There's been a lot of criticism coming my way. It's time to sit up. It's time to sit up and do the right thing and really make everyone proud. She's doing a good job, although I've also been critical of her. I think that it's time that you bring in new women to give fresh ideas. Not necessarily only women. You can bring a man, because an NWFL doesn't mean the man cannot administer it. You get. But it's time for fresh ideas. But what she's done, she's gotten my respect for it, and I'm really, really, really happy about that.
To me, do you agree or disagree?
No, I have to agree. I think she's done very well, just like Wally said. The fact that she had the balls to call off the league at this time when players and every staff of the clubs are really not bringing in the right result, because from what I read, they had to authenticate the reports coming in from some of these clubs. And out of the 14 clubs that are playing in the league, the NWFL, I think about only 3, 4, 5 of them have done those tests, and submitted them, or maybe about to submit. So I think in making sure that we adhere to the COVID-19 protocols and the rest of them in football sphere, I think what she's done should be applauded, and something that the NPFL can also emulate, because the pictures we saw from last weekend is nothing to write home about if the stories are true, that fans got into the stadium when Eimba was playing Wiki Torres. I'm yet to hear from the NPFL. I'm yet to hear from the NFF, and it will be a very, very sad thing if that is confirmed. But for Aisha Falode, I think it's a fantastic one from her, that she had the boldness to be able to tackle this headlong, suspend it for about a week till they get the results and from these clubs. I think it's a good one. It's a good innovation, and it's a right step in the right direction for me.
All right, brilliant. So as we're still staying on the
topic, sorry to quickly chip in. Sorry to cut you there. Sorry to cut you there. It is also important for the records not to also do a miscarriage of adulation. Remember that Aisha is the head of women's football. The woman who runs the end of EFL is Faith Anuge. And Faith has done a fantastic job ensuring that our stance remains unmoved on protocols. A few weeks ago, if you've been following the NWFL, the league was put on hold. Why? Because the NFF referees committee said they wanted citizens to appoint referees for the NWFL. And this woman stood her ground and said, hey, if you guys don't do the right thing at the NFF in terms of appointing referees, we are not going to continue. We are going to put this league on hold, because at the point in time, I think it was match day 3, referees were only arriving at match centers day of the match.
Yes.
So Faith has done a fantastic job. And when I talk about the breath of fresh air, I think Faith embodies that. Yeah, she embodies that.
We need our football needs a lot of. To me, is that something?
I think it's roots, not faith.
Wale, is Wale there?
See,
Okay,
Ruth, Faith, I'm here.
okay. So what I'm saying is that
Yeah, I mean, you can go
whoever
on.
it
You can go
is,
on. You can go on.
yeah, whoever it is that is doing this, I applaud them. I applaud the fact that they are bold. I applaud their resolve. And I hope that they can stay the course, because them staying the course is for the benefit of everyone involved. It's for the benefit of our football in general. I'm talking about staying the course. We're talking about the COVID issues. They continue to linger. Last weekend, we saw pictures of fans at the Agege Stadium getting entry to the Agege Stadium. We saw pictures of fans at the Imba International Stadium in Aba. We saw pictures of fans at the Adosemeka Stadium in Port Harcourt. And it's amazing that we're in week 3. A lot of things have been happening in the NPFL, and somehow there's this silence, convenient silence from the LMC. They haven't made any comments with respect to what Plateau United did. They haven't made any comments with respect to COVID testing. How many players are we testing? How many are positive? How many are negative? It's important to send out this information for all of us to have it. The LMC, quiet as well. The huge uproar with respect to fans at the stadium, quiet again. While it was going on, this new silence, is it silence is the best answer for a fool? Which is it?
Yeah. Yeah, me, I was here on your maiden edition.
Yeah.
Do you remember I told you that I was ready to wager that
Yeah, you said
a
so.
month after the NPFL, the LMC won't say anything on the Plateau United issue?
Well, we're
If you
almost
remember.
at 1 month now.
All right. So far, so good, nothing. Exactly. I mean, that's always been the style of the LMC, silent leadership, and it's a big shame. But with what has transpired, especially on match day 3, with the violation of PTF protocols, because these protocols, we should remember, are not LMC protocols. They are protocols that came from the PTF.
Yeah.
I don't know how the LMC is going to enforce this. I don't like the militarizing match centers. I don't like that. But there has to be a way that the LMC has to reach out to football-loving Nigerians and tell them that you can watch these games in the comfort of your house, from the comfort of your phones, on various mobile platforms. And the problem is that the LMC is not marketing these platforms. So some will say that it is early, but it can't be too early. If Pinnick is serious about the LMC making 18 billion naira from the MP Red Strike partnership, he has to come with marketing. You have to market to people. So, no, that's the truth.
I swear. Look, we need to get away from this. We need to get away from this era of plucking figures. We need to get away from that. I found it a bit ridiculous, actually.
And this whole.
I found it a bit ridiculous.
And guess what? It will get worse. Fans trooping to the stadium to watch this game.
Yeah, it will get worse.
It will get worse. Why? You have to understand, and to me, you understand the fans also want football. You understand that. They have not seen football since February. You understand that. I mean, in Lagos, I was asking the fans, that what do you want to exactly do in the stadium? And they couldn't give me a tangible reason. They just wanted to watch football. They just wanted to be in the stadium and watch football. So you can understand that hunger. That is understandable. But now, can the LMC approach the PTF and say, hey, so can you allow us getting about maybe 400 or 500 fans in there? But now, the issue that comes with that is what happens to the away fans? Or what
Well,
happens
they
to the
won't.
away?
Yeah.
You know why I say they won't? Because you're dealing with a league where gate takings and attendances at match venues has never been a big deal.
How about to
So
contact tracing?
you see, you're even going too far. You mentioned contact
Because
tracing.
it's part of it. Because one of the reasons why fans are not allowed into the stadium is because you don't want to spread this virus, and you want to be very cautious in making sure that it's not spread through fans gathering at a particular spot or in a particular place. And you know how these fans can be sometimes. I feel the process of trying to get fans into the stadium should not be put into the picture right now because, like it or not, even the players themselves have not been tested well enough. Not to talk about the fans getting approval or getting certified or even having a thermometer to test them at the gates before getting in. All those things we have to be very careful in making sure that we don't use football as an avenue to still spread this virus because right now we are having a second wave. So I think we have to be very careful in making some of these arguments for fans to come into the stadium. That's my opinion, though.
Hmm. I, I I think that there are better ways and easier ways to ensure that testing is done, and also as much as possible we reduce the cost of testing as much as possible. I gave an example last week. Toby didn't agree with me because I feel that there should be some kind of relationship between the respective state ministries of sports and respective state ministries of health, as well as whatever office of budget or accountant general of the state, have a handshake between those three bodies whereby whatever payments is supposed to come to the hospitals are deducted from source. The Ministry of Health gets their money for testing. The clubs get a discount because they're having to test consistently. I also give an example that okay, the private clubs can partner with testing centers, give them a 3-year incentive where they're probably on your jersey, on your training gear. The opportunities are endless. But it's as if nobody is thinking, nobody is particularly concerned, and the way the disease is going is getting closer and closer home. I have a few friends who've tested positive. I know people who've passed away via this disease. So we can't be too safe. That's why I'm not going to Agege Stadium. They play two matches at Agege Stadium. That's why I'm not going. In fact, my wife will never allow me to go. First thing you say, what I know you should do at the stadium, where you don't know people that will be there. So I think the LMC has a huge responsibility. It is not their regulation, it is the PTS regulation. But you
Exactly.
got an
Exactly.
approval from the PTF to be able to run and have games in the MPFL come up. So you have a huge responsibility in ensuring that the protocols are adhered to. So from crowd attendance, and I also think that the home teams also need to own the stadium a lot more. Own it on match days. Don't just say, "Oh, you got it from the state FA." No, they need to own the activities on match day at the stadium. So I hope some way, somehow.
Yeah, I mean,
Wale, you want to say something? Yeah, Wale, go
yeah, I
ahead.
think it's difficult for clubs to own match days. Yeah, I think it's to own matches because of the expense it involves to host matches. It is very difficult. I mean, MFM, for example, do they have what it takes to own match days? This is a club that can't even buy players. You now tell them to start paying for security, doing all of this, doing all of that. It's difficult. So that's why they have to work in conjunction, with state FAs.
Can I
And I
give you
think
an
that's already
example, Wale?
enshrined even in the LMC statute.
Can I give you an example? MFM
Go on, go on, go on.
is a big global church, right? They have security at their respective churches, don't they? They have security. So paying for security should not be so. See, we don't need to. There are things you don't need to pay for. There's some level of goodwill, and I always say this about MFM. A lot of people don't agree with me, but there's a lot of goodwill that MFM as a club can enjoy by virtue of their status as a church.
True.
Are you telling me that there are members of MFM that own security companies? I'm sure there are members that own security companies and will be more than glad to,
Yeah.
provide security on match days for the club and at the stadium. Just get the approval from the LSFA and work in conjunction with the LSFA. That way they own match day. So I don't think it's too much for the clubs to do. But like I always say, what do I know? I'm just a guy that thinks that things can work a lot better. So let's go to the results of match day 3. Wale is back. I think we lost Wale briefly there. Let me see if I can get him back. Wale is back. We're having serious network issues today. Hopefully
I'm
we
back.
can resolve it. So yeah, I see you. I'm trying to see if I can share my screen to show the results of the MPFL games that we had this week. Unfortunately, I cannot. So let me go straight to the results. So results of the match day 3. Hold on. Where is this result now? Okay. All right. So Aqua United 2, Abia Warriors 1. Abia Warriors continue their poor form, and I'm beginning to worry for Imama Makago. Very
You don't have to.
Okay, I
You don't
should be
have to.
worried. Okay. All right,
No,
fine.
you shouldn't.
MFM
It's
1,
just match day
Sunshine
3.
Stars 0. Okay, no problem. Lobby Stars 3, Warri Wolves 0. FC Firebird 0. Takada 1. Katsina United 2, Adamawa 0. Worried for Adamawa as well. Justification candidates for me. Jigawa Golden Stars lost at home to Rangers 0-1. Rivers United 9 points out of 9. 3-0 at home to Kwara United. Enyimba 1-0 at home to Wiki Torres, entertained their former coach, and they got the better of him. Plateau United finally in winning ways with the players get their full salary now. They won 3-0 at home to Heartland, beginning to worry for Fidelis Ilechukwu, aka Kamara, the working one, a good friend, a dear friend of mine as well. And National United won, Kano Pillars won. Remember that Toby told us here last week that on the last 4 visits of Kano Pillars to Nasarawa, they hadn't lost. And we were like, Toby, leave that one. Well, they came out,
The results came in.
and Kano Pillars went there and got a very favorable result. So, Timmy, which result stands out for you? And I see that the goals are back.
Yes, exactly. The goals are really back. I think for me, Plateau United scoring 3 goals was the in thing for me. Remember their first match they lost at home. That was a big surprise for me. Losing to Kwara United of all teams, Kwara United. But I think they're beginning to get themselves back into the league, into the rhythm of the league. The last time they went away to Bauchi, they got a draw. Now they are back home. They are getting 3 goals and 3 points. That's fantastic for them. Also, I would like to pinpoint Lobby Stars. Remember Lobby Stars, I talked about that match against Warri Wolves. A very high octane match that they played. They also got 3 goals. The joy for me is that some of these teams are beginning to score plenty of goals. Rivers United also got 3 goals. And that's the joy for me, that they are able to score plenty of goals. I want to see more of this. It's not as if we've not been having goals in previous weeks. No, but then we've not been seeing plenty of them. Like MFM match against Sunshine Stars, we always knew it was going to be very edgy. And remember, Sunshine Stars haven't gotten a point from Lagos ever since they've been coming to Lagos to play against MFM. So I was expecting more goals there also, especially since they have Benga Ogumbote. But then it didn't come to pass. They scored an early goal, I think in the 7th minute or thereabout. and they sustained that till the end of the game. So for me, I think the pick of the bunch for me has to be Plateau United. We're not returning to winning ways. Abdul Maikaba getting 3 points and 3 goals at home, and hopefully, like Wale said, they will get their full salary for this month.
I hope they do get their full salary because that was a really good performance by Plateau United. Wale has gone off again. One player that I really like and I'm keeping a close eye on is Akila at the Plateau United striker, started at MFM. Jason, right? Yeah, started at MFM. And he's going great guns at Plateau United. Another worry for me is how did he move from MFM to Plateau United? No financial constitution.
He's owned by a third party, so that's no news. He's owned by a third party.
Sad. Shehu Diko needs to grow some balls. I'm saying he needs to grow some balls.
You keep putting it on the head of Shehu Diko. I think we have to still.
Uneasy lies the head that wears the crown.
How about the administrators?
Lies the head that wears the crown.
We don't talk about the administrators.
Yeah, because I won't talk about the administrators. They showed me that they're not serious now. And the man that's supposed to regulate them is not regulating them properly. So
maybe if we start putting more pressure on the administrators, maybe we start getting results. Because every now and then we keep blaming the LMC, and when we want to talk about the LMC, we blame Shehu Diko. I think maybe we should cut the man some slack. He can't run the clubs.
Some slack.
Yeah, he can't run the clubs for this guy. And that was what Toby was saying.
But Shehu Diko has so much regulations.
Yes, he has.
He has his LMC mandate.
He has it.
Are those mandates being followed?
The truth of the matter is,
are they being yes or no? Are they being followed? Yes or no?
No.
So what is he supposed to do? The statutes
sanction them and take them out of the league.
Are there, right? The punitive measures to address issues where the teams falter, they are there. The regulations are very clear.
Yeah,
follow
but
the regulations.
You can only sanction. You can only sanction clubs most of the times when it is an on-field problem, not when it is an off-the-field problem. Like, for instance,
mention one off.
No, we are talking about Jesse Akila. Jesse Akila.
Yeah.
He moved from MFM to Plateau United. If he signed a contract with MFM that if a bigger offer comes, I will move. You can't blame Shehu Diko for that, for crying out loud. You can't blame him for that. You can't, because the player in question signed the transfer. The player in question signed the transfer. The truth of the matter is he signed with his own hands. And you can't fault that he signed a contract that has a clause that he can move.
Let me give you an example. Let me give you an example to me. Kano Pillars are currently looking for one of their players. They've declared him missing. Chinedu, they've declared him missing. Now, you know when the player is declared missing, you know what happens. He's probably going to pop up in one other club, or he's gone abroad for trials. Last week, the same Kano Pillars, some journalists came on Twitter and put out a thread on the player that signed for. You saw the thread that signed for Kano Pillars during the lockdown.
He was told to go.
It was unveiled, and it was supposed to be good to go, but he never got a couple in salaries. Now, he's supposed to be earning salaries. In the end, when Kano Pillars registered players for the season, the young man was not registered. Now, that is not Shehu Diko's fault in any form, shape, or form, right? But where it is Shehu Diko's fault is the fact that the clubs think the clubs do this and they've been doing it for many years, right? Why is Shehu Diko's fault is that this thing comes out, you will say the player did not report. And we know why the players don't report. So that they're not singled out, they're not victimized. When you want to move to another team, they tell the other team, don't sign him, he's a troublemaker. Those are some of the things Shehu Diko is flipping the board. When Boboye signed for Aqua United without a contract. This is not hearsay. He said it on Sports Zone with his own mouth. That they just called him, come and coach. He didn't sign any contract.
So
When
how is
Christmas
that
came along, wait
Shevchenko's
now.
fault?
Wait, I'm going to tell you why it's Shevchenko's fault. I'll tell you why. When Christmas came along, they gave him 200,000. He said, no, they should hold it. When New Year came out, they gave another 200,000. They said they should hold it. Maybe he subsequently signed a contract later, and I'll tell you why it's Shevchenko's fault. In the LMC regulations, it's clearly stated there that a club should submit contract documents of the coach 7 days after the signing of the coach. 7 days after the coach puts pen to paper, the documents, the contract documents signing that coach to your club needs to be sent to the LMC. And what?
And what if they had sent a document stating that he's agreed to be part of the team, but he's not ready to take salaries? What if there's a document to that? You see,
Oga said he didn't sign contract to me.
Exactly. I think you should be pinning the blame on Aqua United, not Shehu Diko.
Oh, yes.
Normally, Aqua United feel.
I pin the blame on Aqua United.
Exactly.
And I pin the blame. Wait. And I pin the blame on the LMC because their regulations are clear. To me, let's move to Wale. Wale, which results stood out for you in match day 3? To me, seems to. I think it's such a Diko today. So, what results stood out for you in match day 3, Wale?
2 weeks ago, I told the Rivers United are going to make a serious push for the league, probably win the league, and another statement of intent. This wasn't a statement result. They always expected to win this game, and but they've had a strong start, to the season, and coupled with their CAF Confederation Cup results, that puts them in good place to qualify and meet Enyimba. I think that's the tie of that round in the CAF Confederation Cup. Enyimba and Rivers United. But another result I liked was the one. Another tie that I interestingly liked was the tie that I wasn't allowed to watch live, MFM Sunshine. You know why? It was refreshing to watch the league on television, and I quite enjoyed it. It was very, very refreshing. I was at a local bar. Even at the local bar, they didn't know that MFM was being shown live. So the bar is opposite the stadium, and they were watching the FA Cup between Chelsea and Morecambe. And I, alongside a couple of other journalists like Rotimi Akideli, and we told them, "Can you please just switch to channel 419?" And they thought we were joking.
Channel 419.
And guess what? Yeah. In fact, I think the network service of the NTA has to go probably and change that channel because it doesn't put the channel in good light. Yes, of course. When you say NTA, you say 419. You know what 419 stands for in this part of the world. So at the point in time, they will have to go and change it. It's part of the branding. It is part of branding.
Yeah, it's part of branding. Part of branding.
So they switched to the game, and before you knew it, the fans who were hanging around the stadiums came to that bar to come and watch, which is a ripple economical benefit
to the bar.
Yeah, exactly. That's a ripple effect. That's an economic effect of if the LMC is marketing this thing seriously.
It's not only the LMC. While you're making mention of something that I've said about our clubs, Nigerian clubs, they are not invested in their communities.
Yeah.
In the community that surrounds them. The number of bars that surround Agege Stadium. They are not invested in the communities that people in the community don't even know that matches are being played at the Agege Stadium. Even when fans were allowed to, there are times they don't know. They just what's happening for you? Oh, okay, they play ball. Our clubs are not invested in the communities. They need to go back to
not at all centers. Sorry to cut you, Yemi.
To me,
it's not
all of them.
Centers. No.
To me, it is all of them.
No, it is not.
Okay.
I will give you an instance. Sani Abacha Stadium in Kano. 3 hours, 4 hours.
Maybe Kano plus.
Yeah, even in Akure, 4 hours, 3 hours before the game, the whole road leading to the Akure Township Stadium is almost blocked because they know that a game is happening. So I think it's just MFM, and because
Okay.
MFM is just a private owned club. I don't know, maybe that's the reason. But some of these clubs that are government owned are really enshrined with the fans and the community that they play in.
But just to
To
sum
use
up my
network
thoughts, Yemi,
drinking.
on the game that stood out for
Yeah.
me. Can you hear me now? Is it better now?
Yes, I can hear you. Wale, I can hear you.
All right. So MFM, played smash and grab. That result was smash and grab. 7th
Yeah,
minute,
proper.
tap in. Then Sunshine Stars took over. Sunshine Stars took over, and I think that despite all of the troubles that they have internally with the welfare of their players, they're a proper football team, Sunshine Stars, who also have a very, very experienced coach. In
Yeah.
what's his name again? Benga Ogobote. They played some good stuff in the second half. I thought it was a game they could have won. Yeah, with the chances they created, not even the chance, the quality of the chances, the quality of the. At a point in time, MFM could not even get near the ball. The way Sunshine Stars, controlled the game. I thought that they were very, very unlucky. And also, it was a game that would continue to beg the question of MFM's identity, post Fidelis Ilichukwu.
Oh
Yeah,
yes.
they seem
Big
to have
question.
lost what made them tick. And
Very
that was
true,
the
very
style
true.
of football. You
Yeah.
don't know if they're a robust side. You don't know if they're a passing side.
They're rigid
They're
side.
just a side that, you don't know what they are right now. And it is so worrying,
They just
you know,
play
And-
that what
and
used to be
that-
the
and
selling
that-
point of the club.
And that has to do with the amount of the turnover of players that they've had. And then you look at
Yeah,
in terms
true.
of the turnover, they've lost a lot of players. Then the replacements and the identity of their scouting replacements makes you wonder, because under Fidelis, whilst they were losing players,
They were
the
bringing in
replacements
quality.
were almost like for like. Maybe
True.
not quality, but
Mm.
the replacements were almost like for like in terms of attitude, in terms of the way they play. When Onua left, the young man that he placed at 10 was almost similar to Onua. Probably not as good in quality, but almost similar to Onua. Up front has been somewhere that I still worry for them since they went from Musa Numan to Ode to Sikiru. The guys that have come since then don't look like the strikers that would scare any defense. They are different. There's the entire structure of the team is worrisome. Look at them defensively. Under Elichukwu, they had probably my best MPFL player in a long time, Okpara. And then they had Bangboye. They had this chap that moved to Lobby. That also
They had this right back, this interesting right back. This interesting right back.
So you could see
Emiloju, yeah.
there was a bit of continuity in the way they were recruiting. But once Fidelis left, under Bolus, the recruitment looks all over the place.
I agree. But you also have to. This is why I keep saying we have to blame the administrators of this club sometimes, because
yes, I do that. I blame them. Well,
you wonder how a club like MFM, being in Lagos, having the support of the Lagos state government in a way, not being able to market themselves or put themselves in a place where they can always attract the best of the best players. Because, like it or not, most of these players who play in the league would always want to come to Lagos and play. But when a club is not making its own environment conducive for players to come and play, then it's a big worry. When you say your motto or the way you want to run your club is because you want to take boys out of the streets, it becomes more or less. No, we laugh about this, but then they are working towards that. They always work towards that. It's always about, hey, let's just take these small boys. And you're not retaining them to make a better club or to have a sell-on price for boys that you're picking. It's a big worry for me, honestly.
To me, you can sell them, make the financial gain, invest the finances in the continued repositioning of youth.
Yes, but we are
But
not seeing that.
you and I know that. Wait now, you and I know that in all the players that have passed through MFM, as far as I know, and I could be wrong, Wale could correct me. I think it's only one that I know that they received a transfer fee on.
Yeah,
And
okay.
that's Steve Lodi.
True.
I
And
don't
that's
know
Steve
if they got a transfer fee on. In fact, remember the tweet they put out now when Okpara left.
Yeah,
And they're
Yeah.
trying to help.
the club has always said. Yeah, I mean, the club has always said that most of their players are always on loan. You know, once again, he asked the question of how the MC is trying to safeguard, you know. See, all of this comes back to the LMC. If they're going to run loans, and not that loans are not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing, but you have to run it professionally. You know, how many of these players have clauses that at least benefit MFM, even when these players move abroad or move to other clubs? You know, because see, like it or not, MFM have done a very able job of reconfiguring, of regenerating. I think that's what a club like Valencia in Spain does a whole lot. You take the best players, they find a way of regenerating. They almost didn't get away with it a couple of years ago when they almost got relegated. You know, remember that season?
In fact,
when Ifeanyi came to town.
In fact,
and you continue to ask yourself, for how long? Yeah, for how long? Yeah, last season. Now, for how long will this continue to last? How long will this continue to last? Look at Valencia in Spain too. They are almost nearing the end because Talib has run the club down. Yeah. So MFM will also ask themselves, for how long can we continue to rely on regeneration, not investing in this team? So you want to reposition youth in the community, or you can also invest while repositioning. You know, you can, because you ask yourself, all the money they've made in terms of, where have you put it? Where have you put it? The ISM is 200,000. I don't. MFM is not attractive. The layer of playing in Lagos.
That's the truth.
Yeah, me. There is no. Yeah, me. The MPFL player doesn't want to come to Lagos because there's no money there. There's no money.
It's a fact.
There is no money. It is not attractive. So MFM itself is not an attractive club. It's not an attractive club, and
let's look at the table. Rivers United toward the table.
Yeah, go on.
9 points, 3 wins out of 3, plus 5 goals difference. National United are second with 7 points, 2 wins and a draw. Dakar also on 7 points. They're also undefeated. Nobi Stars come in 4th. Eimba are in 5th, but note that Eimba have a game in hand and they are also have a 100% record. Bottom, the 4 teams threatened by relegation include Heartland, Abia Warriors, who Timmy says we should not be worried about, Adama United, and Wiki Tourist. Well, let me come to you. Heartland, Fidelis are a good friend. I saw a tweet, even though that tweet, I'm sure the journalist was trying to be coy, trying to be smart, to lace it as if he's the first person that tweeted that Fidelis is going to leave Heartland. But seriously, what's the hope for Fidelis at Heartland?
Right now, there's no hope, you know, because the club is in shambles, and Fidelis, I felt, shouldn't have taken the job, because Fidelis won't tell me that he didn't know what was ahead at Heartland. Before he went to Heartland went turmoil in terms of the leadership at the club, in
finance politics.
What was wrong with the, even before he to the club? Exactly. So I was surprised, although I heard that of the state that appealed to him to come, and as a son of the soil, he didn't want to reject the calls, and I think he was just ready to leave MFM because he felt he had outgrown MFM. If you get my point.
Yeah.
He felt whatever he was earning at MFM. I mean, Atlas were ready to triple whatever he was earning at MFM. Yeah, he's earning big money at right now. Players are not happy. Players, I mean, he was saying it last week. And this team is not, they have not paid his players. He told the press, you know, it can be very, very brash at times. Remember on March 1 when the trust said they couldn't afford their hotel bills.
Yeah.
In as much as, you know, he denied it. But, I mean, those stories came out from credible. So it tells you the story of a club that Yemi, Atlant, are in the middle of a transfer ban. I hope you know that. They cannot sign players.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
They have a two-window transfer ban.
Wale,
you know, that,
Wale, are we sure that they have not signed players? Are we sure?
I can hear you.
Are we sure?
No.
Sure
The reason why I'm sure, Yemi, the reason I'm sure is that the LMC still sent them a reminder, Tim, if you remember, last week, to tell them that they hope they have not signed players because of the consequences from FIFA.
Should they be sending them
so they still gave them a reminder last week.
Should they be sending them a reminder reminding them?
No. I mean, what the LMC has done. There's nothing wrong. Timmy, you can go on.
You should know what stops Atlas from saying that the player is in their final team and they promoted him? What stops them? What stops them from doing that?
You see, all of that is conjecture. But what I'm saying is, see, for Fidelis and his future, I think he will leave the club at the point in time. Will he be hot in the market? Will he be, most? I hope that
I'm not sure.
Atlant doesn't have his reputation.
Yeah.
Because honestly, the result also didn't look good. See, I'm not sure at Atlant. I don't think it was. So does it eat the humble pie and go back to MFM? Will he be welcome back there? Where does it go to? Those are the big questions. I think he'll find a job. I think he'll find a job.
He will. But you say
go back to MFM?
No, not at the MFM. It could be another club.
Okay.
I still feel that Fidelis is one of those hot cakes right now in the league, like it or not, because for him to have taken MFM to the continent, a modest club at that, I think every club will be looking at that and saying, "Hey, if we give him money, if we give him the right set of players,
Timmy, top 5 managers in the NPFL. Is Fidelis there?
Well, maybe not top 5.
Top 5 managers in the NPFL. Is Fidelis there?
In the top 6. Top 6. My top 6, he will be there. Because you also
top
mentioned...
6. Okay, go. Okay,
remember,
go. Top 6. Top 6 managers in the NPFL as we speak.
As we speak. Well, I will have to rack my head. Imama is one of them.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, go now.
Imama is one of them.
Oh, no, you don't have to rack your head now.
Imama is one of them. Benga Ogumbo is one of them.
Okay, two.
Stanley Eguma is one of them.
3.
Maybe the coach of Kano Pillars, so sure.
Are you kidding me?
Are you okay? Are you normal?
He's a foreign coach. He's a foreign coach for Kano Pillars.
Go and sit down. Timmy, go and sit down.
Leave him out.
Timmy, I really kidding us.
Kabiru Dogo of Lomi Stars.
It's okay. Please, let's move to the pictures.
Timmy, go and redo that list.
MFM style of play. No, seriously, you attributed MFM style of play to Fidelis Lechiku. Every right-thinking club would always remember how well they played those days. So for me, I feel he will be one of those guys you want to look at and say, hey, he can do something. If I have the opportunity of having Fidelis Lechiku and maybe Balani Q, I will go for a Fidelis Lechiku, for crying out loud.
Now that ship has sailed. If Fidelis is going to make any headway, he probably has to go to another modest club.
Not like MFM. Not like MFM.
I don't think any top. modest club can be Ifeanyi, can be Kwara United, can be even Abia Warriors themselves. But Rangers, Eyimba, Rivers United, Plateau, Kano Pillars, no, never. So let's go to the fixtures for match day 4. Adamawa United at home to Nasarawa United. Kano Pillars at home to Plateau United. I wish I could catch a flight to Kaduna to watch this one. I think it's going to be an explosive game. Heartland at home to Eyimba. Can they work their magic and defeat Eyimba? Wiki Tourist at home to Rivers United. Wiki Tourist in a lot of trouble in the bottom 4. Kwara United at home to Aqua United. Aqua United, a bit of a yo-yo team. Abia Warriors in the relegation zone, taking on another team in the relegation zone, Jigawa Golden Stars. Rivers United versus Ifeanyi. That is one of the Oriental derbies. Takada FC looking good. They haven't lost so far this season. They are at home to MFM FC, who we know always travel poorly. Sunshine Stars are back in the comfort of Akure, but they'll be taking on Lobby Stars, who used to be... in fact, this is a game that we should watch. Lobby Stars current coach, used to be at Sunshine. Now, Sunshine's current coach used to be at Lobby. So it was a swap.
Yeah, the swap.
That should be a good game. And Warriors at home to Katsina United. So for me, the two games that stand out are Kano Pillars versus Plateau United and Sunshine Stars versus Lobby Stars. Wale, what say you?
I like the look of Kano Pillars Plateau. Two good sides. It's a shame that fans will be able to watch this.
On TV.
Let's hope that there's coverage for that. But no, I'm hearing there's no coverage. Midweek. That's what I'm hearing, though. So that is off the table. But I think that Kano Pillars will find the measure of Plateau United.
No.
I don't. Like I said, I don't think there's any game midweek. No coverage at all midweek. I don't think there's coverage at all midweek. But anybody have a big chance to get all 3 points already. Yeah, I think it's a big chance. Atlanta down. They're not playing football. They're not doing well. I think it's a big chance for anybody. And anybody also have to realize that every game from now is a preparation for that crucial Confederation Cup playoff tie against potentially Rivers United. So, and they have to start. Of course, they have to start sending messages to Rivers United on the domestic front. And how big a message can you send by going to Atlanta and going to win? So I think Eba have got a big chance. So I think Rivers United will continue their winning run, though.
To me, you?
Yeah, I agree with you.
Where should we look for? Where should we look for an upset?
Upset? I don't see any upset coming in for now. Maybe Plateau United might just go and pick that draw in Kano or in Kaduna. Remember, Kano Pillars are not playing in Sani Abacha. They are playing in Kaduna. So maybe that will be the upset for me. And for me, that's still the biggest match for match week 4. Because like it or not, you're talking about more or less a northern rivalry between these two sides. Plateau United, used to be a former champion. Kano Pillars also a former champion. So I think it's a game and a half for me. But you have to also look at Heartland Eyimba. Wale says Eyimba should go there and pick all the 3 points, and I also think so. But then it's a grudge match. It's the Oriental Derby, a match where anything goes. If you know the history of these two clubs, you will understand that Heartland, they use Eyimba for Owerri. They are always like cat and mouse. They don't like themselves. That's a big match for me. But then the form of Heartland players right now is nothing to write home about. So for me, it might not be a cracker that I would want to see. So I think all other teams following their pattern, maybe they will get their wins. Rivers United should continue to at least get a point on the road. Maybe not a win. A point on the road should be good enough for them.
Interesting. So as we try to round up, let's go the teams on the continent. So Rivers United might just be going to Togo, Lome, to play the second leg of their game against Bloemfontein Celtic. Hopefully, they come out of that unscrathed and get to the next round where they play Enyimba, which I am not happy about. I was hoping
I
that
am
we'll
happy,
get two
actually.
teams. I was hoping we'll get two teams in the Confederations Cup once
No,
Enyimba dropped.
let me tell you why I'm happy.
Why?
I want Rivers United to show us the reason why they should have gotten that CAF Champions League ticket in the first place.
Okay. Now, that's an angle. That's an angle actually. Why they should have been the
because
ones.
so far they've been the
And even
they've been the team who has done well.
Yemi,
Yeah, well,
if I could chime in, I'm disappointed that Enyimba have been allowed to drop down because they've been a disgrace in the CAF Champions League.
you said they've been allowed.
Exactly.
I'm
They've been
disappointed.
allowed. Who allowed them to drop down?
I'm
They
sure.
should have disqualified
because
them or what?
yeah, and I think that is, it applies to the champions when you drop down to the Europa League. You are glorifying failure. That is what it means. You are glorifying failure. I mean, how do Enyimba go to Sudan, having scouted their star player and considered 3 goals to him, and they still get the chance of redemption, the CAF Confederation Cup. And that's why I hope that Rivers United can beat them and qualify for the group stages.
Yeah, true.
Like Fatah, I like the coach. I like what's the name again? What's the name of
Fatah?
Fatah.
Sure. I like the coach, but
Yeah.
but honestly, the way he has approached the El Berik game from a tactical point of view, because I saw that game, I don't like it. I mean, you're a forward-thinking manager, attacking manager, but there are some places you go to and you weigh your options and you find a way to achieve balance between attacking football and being a much more pragmatic team. So now he's gotten a chance of it, and I hope that United don't just allow them into the group stages.
Well, it's sad that Enyimba got knocked out of the CAF Champions League. But I do know, and I'm one of those people that said, time when they got dropped out of the CAF Champions League because of the whole mago that went into getting them into that position in the first place. But, well, we'll have to look forward to that time. It's on my birthday. The first leg is on my birthday, and I'd love to go to either Port Harcourt or Aba to watch. But still, there's still COVID outside, so no can do.
You'll be allowed into
I
the
have to make do whatever we see. Exactly. No, I forgot as a journalist now, but
yeah, no.
Unfortunately,
guys, from a broadcast point of view, we should be seeing this game on television.
Yes, we should actually. True.
We should be watching this game on television. Both clubs should sign and have an understanding and have this game and away on television. And that's why in the CAF Champions League, you can see that home teams and away teams are signing agreements to be able to beam games live to their fans.
So you don't have the shenanigans of Plateau United and Simba all over again.
Yeah.
Exactly. But they should come to an understanding, but don't let us count our eggs before they are hatched. Rivers United have to play Bloemfontein Celtics, in the second.
Yeah, true.
And not to Port Harcourt. Okay, so on a final note, I was listening to your show this morning, Wale, back-to-back sports, and you're talking about Nigeria's outstar at under 21 and under 17 level, and why we, in the first instance, agreed to this qualification format. And I think I've had this conversation. I think it was with Timmy. No, it was with Toby. We had this conversation. And no, was it with Toby or no? It was with Doom Noddy. And our conversation eventually centered on the fact that our administrators had been settled with certain concessions. Note, one of such concessions was expanding the Nations Cup to 24 teams. It was after that they threw this waffle arrangement, this sub-regional arrangement to us all, and they couldn't turn it down. because at the time we agreed 24 teams, I think Nigeria was not sure of qualification for the AFCON at the time. They took that one, and now we're facing the bronze. But that's not the issue here. The issue here is that we have nothing in the area of developmental football, nothing in the area of developing talent. So we are just reaping where we have sown. We have sown lack of an identity, lack of planning, know-how, and anyhowness. That is why we are where we are. And I saw that you mentioned the second football development center that Algeria was launching. And I asked a question, Wale, don't be the same FIFA money we they collect.
No, we have a Go project actually. I think they are launching one in Bauchi.
Okay, I'm not talking to you again. I'm talking to Wale now.
Our is an ongo. Yeah, our project is an ongo project. Ongo. It's an ongo project.
Oh my God! I asked this question, Wale.
See, I mean, we have to be deliberate. We have to be intentional. Yes, we have to be creative. We just can't, assemble some youngsters who are not under 17, to come to Abuja and quickly appoint a coach. You didn't even appoint a coach. We didn't even appoint a coach. We selected the coach, from the Minister of Sport who wanted to compensate some people. And you tell them to go to a sub-regional tournament. Even if Ghana and Cote d'Ivoire did not prepare, when you get to that level where preparation is not there, you can't see, there's no way you can progress. Even if you progress, it's a very bad sign because you'll be disgraced at the end.
Yeah.
You'll be there's a point, there's a level at which your anyhowness can take you. There's a point. It can be at the continental, anywhere, you will shall be disgraced. That's the truth. And when I saw the Algerian system, I wasn't amazed because this is basic. It is how do I call it? It is normal requirement. Yemi, I was in Remo on Boxing Day, and I had the opportunity of seeing the football excellence, College of Excellence, that the Remo Stars owner that is currently building in Remo. Yemi,
okay.
It gave me a tour. It gave me a tour of the college. It's a tour that lasted an hour.
If I invite
no, I went there. I went on another business. So he just said, "Oh, guys, let me just show you because nobody has seen it." In that College of Excellence, Shoname has 4 standard pitches, grass hybrid. He has dormitories for every student. He has dormitories for all the instructors, for all the coaches. He has a sauna. He has a chamber, cold water, hot water. He has everything. He has a gym. He has a physiotherapist. He has everything. And guess what? It's 1,800 and it is. I asked him, how much could he have spent on this? He said, give or take, so far so good. Maybe he has spent about $5 million and he's still not finished it. That place is still not finished yet. I was now telling him that, why are you building all of this? He says, a normal football player, a young player, should experience all of these things. This is what you need to become a world-class player. So when you experience things like this in your country, by the time you move abroad, you just slot into the system. How many of our players exactly you slot in because they are not strange? He said, this thing that I built, I said, what I built here, they have it in South Africa. I asked Cape Town, all of them, they have all of this. Every state in the country should have a college of excellence like this. It is basic.
I agree with you.
And that's what Algeria have done.
Even if you can't do every state, every geopolitical zone. Let's even say we have 6 or 7 geopolitical zones. Have it in each geopolitical zone. A football center of excellence.
Let me shock you. Let me shock you. I asked him, how much does it take to attend this college? He says it is free. That only the best from Africa will come. It's not only limited to Nigeria. Only the best from Africa He says
You
from
know what that
their
does? You
sub-Saharan
know what
Africa,
that does for
the
Remo
best.
Stars? You know what that does for Remo Stars? Remo Stars have just opened their door to attracting the best talents from across Africa through Nigeria. So
Of
what that
course, yeah,
does is
you're
that
correct. Correct.
what that does is that
You're
a
correct.
Nigerian club will stop signing second, third-rate players from the continent, like the Rangers, him and the likes they do. They're going to get the best young players. They will sign
Yeah.
schoolboy forms with Remo Stars. Remo Stars will develop them. If they want to stay in Nigeria, they will stay in Nigeria and play for the proper Remo Stars team. Remo Stars can either then funnel them to Firenze in Portugal or send them anywhere else. But what he's done
Yeah.
is that he's
And
created a
and it is
pipeline
strictly
that Africa can come to Nigeria.
for players under 17. That's what Algeria built their new football development staff for players between that were born in the years of 2006 and 2007.
Yeah.
That is how to be deliberate. Not just saying that you are playing, what do they call it? LMC. Timmy, remind me now. LMC promises.
Future Eagles.
Promises.
No, that is no.
Or Zenit,
After the first edition of the promises, what happened to the rest? All of that is just a there's no promise there.
We like
You have to be
we do more of the aesthetics
very
in this part
intentional.
of the world, and it's terrible. It's terrible. Until we start doing the real thing, we'll just keep going in circles. That's the truth. We collect money,
Yes,
we collect
we will.
grants for so many things. These are projects that normally FIFA would be encouraged to see and say, okay, let's pump in more money because we've seen this from the NFF, but they're not doing it. Instead, they want sponsors to come and sponsor a competition for like 2 months. After then, the boys go home and wait for another 2 years for under 21 competitions or qualifiers or under 17 qualifiers. It won't work. It not go work now. It not go work.
A lot of people think that we have a Fatah problem. Fatah was not a problem.
We
It
know
was just a scheme.
At all.
Our problem runs deeper than Fatah.
Way deeper
If you had put Finidi George, who is currently,
he will still
you
fail.
know that the Finidi George story is making rounds right now. The Finidi George is making rounds. He will fail.
I still feel.
He will fail, and he will fail. He will fail, and it might even hurt his reputation. As a manager for that kind of age grade, in football. So I think that our problems run deeper. We have to create a system that outlives each administration. It's a system that will outlive PDC, that will outlive the next NFL president.
Wale, you are saying this.
No, we're not ready.
This.
We're not.
Wait now, you are saying this. I had a conversation with Femi Adefeso on my podcast related to basketball. He's saying the same thing, but nobody's doing it. I had the same conversation with Deji Ogegbo on athletics. Same thing. Somebody should do something that will outlive them. Nobody's ready to do it. Everybody wants to do what they can do now.
Maybe we need to start engaging the sports ministry themselves because the onus lies on them.
To me,
that's the truth.
Your sports minister is doing adopt a talent that doesn't have any that doesn't have any policy process backing it up. It seems more like what I see this talent. Oh, you are good, come. Oh, you are good, come. No, there needs to be a process, a conveyor belt that says
that's not the approach. Yes.
So once one talent is spotted in Sokoto, you don't need to wait. He's already in the system. And the person doesn't have to see the talent. There's a process, there's a system in place.
True. Very true. Very true. Very true.
We don't have that.
Right, we'll go still go for qualifiers. Pajawiri
qualifiers. We will do screening. 1,000 players from all over the country screening in one day.
We will keep doing that for the next 10, 20 years.
And I hope that by the time we take stock of this federation, when they are done in 2022, I hope that we should also remember that they've been a failure. They've been a
huge failure. Huge failure.
I will never
8 years. Why did that be 8 years?
Yes, we'll never.
They would have done 8 years.
If I go to a barometer for measuring, yes. You know what?
Super,
Yemi,
even the,
no
well,
federation,
even the
no
Super
administrator has done 2 terms.
Yes,
Yeah.
now that's what I'm saying. That's
Of
why I
course,
said
Yeah.
8 years.
no administrator has done 2 terms.
Nobody has done 8 years.
Nobody has
Abajo
done
done
2
it.
terms
He's
before in
gonna
the
do it.
history. Yeah. And all they
Abajo is
keep on
doing
talking
2
about
terms.
is, sponsors, blah, blah.
Who
Sponsors that we
sponsors?
don't even know the value. Is it even
Super Eagles
sponsorship?
qualify with a
You
game in
know,
hand.
I mean,
They gave me a
didn't-
hand. Oh my God, guys! I know if we
Yemi,
keep going, we probably will stop. So let's just end it here. Thank you everybody that's joined us all through the conversation. We come to you again on Tuesday with another episode of MPFL Outlook. So please watch out. Hopefully, while it says there's no coverage midweek, it's painful, but maybe you try and tune in at the weekend when there's coverage. But there are a lot of games to watch, and I am loving what I'm seeing in the MPFL currently. Hopefully, we can build on that. For other things that I'm doing, please check out. Please subscribe to this channel. Please, I need your subscription. We're on 56 subscribers now, trying to hit 100 and see how we can do that. Please do that for me. Please subscribe. Also, listen to the recent new podcast, No Touchscreens, with myself and Chio Eze. It's out on Friday, 4 p.m. Football and AI should be back. The man versus machine, predicting the games of the Premier League. And I think that's about it. So watch out for another episode of No Touchscreens coming out on Friday. We'll preview all the big leagues across the world. Wale, thank you for being with me. Wale has snapped up. Network has been bad, so apologize for that. Timmy, thank you very much for coming in as a late substitute.
Always, anytime, bro.
Thank you very much. Thank you, everybody that's joined us. Thank you for staying with us. And have a lovely day. See you next week.